Hi. If you are in the middle of an agile transformation and still feel that nothing is improving, nothing is changing, you might not be very wrong. Let's explore why. Most of the time, any organization who set out to do an agile transformation, these are the few reasons which could lead them to failure. So, my experience, I've worked in different countries and many organizational agile transformations. And these are few examples or few points that I am going to share with you, which leads to the failure of an agile transformation. The first one, it's the missing why. What I mean by that? Well, whenever we think of an agile transformation, that's a big change. Uh, we are going to do an agile transformation because there is a problem. We're going to solve a problem or we want to get better at something. That is the why. That's the context for that agile transformation. So when we are communicating to our teams, to our people in the organization, that why needs to be very clear and everyone needs to be on the same page. However, in most organization, whenever there is an agile transformation, that's the bit is missing. So no one is aligned that why are we doing this? Why suddenly everything is changing? Just because everyone else is doing in the world? That's why. So this is one of the reasons. The first one, why agile transformation fails. The second one, we always see that agile transformation usually means a process change, not the mindset shift that we require to do. What I mean by that, if we have been using projects, we suddenly make them product. We start calling them product. We start calling our processes with a different name, our roles or the job title in the organization changes. A manager could become a product owner or a scrum master. However, whenever the work needs to get done, there will be 10 different approvals required to do anything. So if we are not changing the system, but we are expecting different outcome, well, a framework cannot solve it for you, right? So that's where the second reason why agile transformation fails. The third one, when we think about agile transformation, we think of just implementing a framework. We forget to take the context of that organization into picture. When again, what I mean by that is that every framework that we know that is out there in agile, well, they really need to be applied and tweaked based on the context. What kind of team are you? What kind of work do you do? Who are your customers? All these things are very important parameters to be kept in your mind. How often do your demand comes to your team? What are the different ways the demand reaches you? So those are the things that needs to be put into the context when we are thinking about the framework, and then we start tweaking or adjusting the framework to suit that context. So that's another reason which really doesn't give us the result that we are hoping for from an agile transformation. The next one, well, we only focus on the delivery part of a system. So what I mean by that, I have a video on upstream Kanban, which is about looking where the demand is coming from or shaping the demand better. So that is also very important, how the demand is being shaped, how we are triaging options. But what if we do whenever we think of an agile transformation, at least in my experience, organizations tend to focus on the delivery part of it, the downstream. Let's change things in there. However, everything is taking the same amount of time when we have 100 things as prioritized. However, our capacity says we can only deliver 10 initiative in a year. No one is looking at those things. So we often see that, okay, even if we have done like, $1 million of transformation, nothing has changed because we are just applying a framework on the downstream, but we ignored the upstream. So that is another reason why transformation fail. What can we do better, or what are the few things that we should be keeping in mind whenever we think of organizational transformation? One thing that is really important for us to understand that there needs to be a org design as well, which can support the transformation or the changes. So for example, if let's say shortening customer lead time is one of the things that we were looking to improve from this transformation or speed to market, then we really need to support that. it is not only the delivery team that is doing it in isolation. There are a lot of things happening around them or surrounding them, which actually empower them to do that. So, are we ready for that? Did we make all the right kind of changes or enable the constraints in there? So, those are the few things that you need to look for when you're thinking of agile transformation. The second thing would be leadership. Leadership plays a very important role whenever it comes to agile transformation. So they need to be empowering. They need to understand that how they are playing a part in this. Agile is not only for the downstream, it is for everyone. It is about unblocking flow. So it cannot be applied to one part and not to the rest. So that's another. Leadership is very important as well. And the third one, please understand your context, understand the why. What problem are we solving by this transformation? It's a big change. So let's understand these three things. Then I believe the transformations will be successful and it cannot be a big bang. We always review our plan based on the context, the data that we keep getting, and then we keep adjusting the plan to reach the outcome. If you want to learn more about agility, product, transformation, humans, EQ, or team dynamics, then please look out for my videos. Thank you.